This video is going to show you how to solve equations using the calculator. In Desmos, we would normally have y equals the left, and then y equals the right, and then we would find the intersection of those, where we could just click on the intersection. You can do the same thing in the graphing calculator, you just have to command it to do so. So what you want to do is to take your equations, which are 3x plus 5 equals 4x minus 10. What I can do with that is I can take my y equals to the left and y equals to the right. I can do it in my calculator. So what I'll do is I'll go to my y equals and I'll type in the left hand side as 3x plus 5 and the right hand side as 4x minus 10 on my second line, just like we do in Desmos. The difference with Desmos is when I graph it on the calculator, I have it like this. I cannot scroll to have it zoom, so I have to actually tell it to zoom, and then I can find the intersection of it. So I'll tell it to zoom out, so I'll press zoom, and then I'll do number 3. Now it hasn't zoomed out, and if you've seen a previous video, my zoom out feature is I'll come up to where I believe it'll needs to be zoomed out from, and then I'll command it to zoom out by pressing enter now. So now I can have it zooming out. There's one line. That's the 3x plus 5, and then that was the 4x minus 10. Now it looks like they're intersecting up here. So what I'll do is I'll command my calculator to intersect. Instead of being able to click on it, because this is not Desmos, I will use my calculator's commands to find the intersection. So what I want to do, anything with the graph, is these 5 buttons up here and the blue information as well. So as you can see, it says calc right here. It says calculate. I want to calculate the location of the intersection. So that one's blue, so I have to press the second and then calculate. I want to find the intersection of my two equations, so I'll press number 5. Now it says first curve now. What that means is that it's on the first graph, the first line, 3x plus 5, and you can see that up top. It says y sub 1 equals 3x plus 5. I want it to be on that line, so I'm going to press enter. Now it switches down to my second line of 4x minus 10, and it says second curve. It's the question mark. It's saying, is that your second curve that you want? I have numbers here. I want to say yes, that is the second line I want to focus on. It asks me to guess. I don't want to guess what the answer is. I want the calculator to tell me. So instead of me doing anything with that, I'm just going to press enter, and then it comes up here. It says the intersection is at x equals 15, y equals 50. So my coordinate is 15, 50, and since I want to know what the x value is, my answer would be x equals 15, and I don't have to do any type of math involved here because I'll let the calculator do it for me. So this is the intersection key. That does the same thing as y equals left, y equals right. Click on Desmos. You do second calculate because we want to calculate that intersection. And then we find the word that says intersect, which in this case is number 5. So I'll press number 5. And then again, it says first curve, which is that first equation. That's this one. That's what I want for my first equation. I'm going to press enter, saying yes, that's true. My second curve, question mark, it asks, is that 4x minus 10? That is the one we want, so we're going to press enter, saying yes, that is true. It asks us to guess, and we don't want to guess, we just want it to tell us the answer. So we just press enter, and then we have our intersection. We know we're finished when it actually says intersection, and it gives us an x and a y. So this is how we know we're finished, because it actually says intersection. Now, if I go back to zoom 6, this is my standard window. What happens here is we could not originally see the intersection. So if I try to do it here, sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So I know that these will intersect. I'm going to try and find the intersection right now from this graph as it is. So I'll press again second calculate, and I want again the intersect, so I'll press number 5. I want my first curve to be 3x plus 5. That is true. Press enter. I want my second curve to be 4x minus 10. That is true. I'm going to press enter. Now I'm going to press enter on the guess because I do not want to guess. And it says error, no sign change. So when you have this error and you know that it's supposed to intersect, it just means that it's not zoomed out enough to where it cannot actually see the intersection. So you just have to either zoom out or zoom in depending on what you are wanting. So if this happens, you can zoom out to where you know it's intersecting, or you can zoom in on the specific location, which can happen with rational expressions or inverse equations. So if you just press quit, you can go back and you can zoom out from that location so that you can actually find the intersection. So again, the second trace, which is calculate, and we want number 5, and you would just press enter as long as your first curve is that first equation. You'd press enter on the second curve as long as that's your second equation, and you have coordinates down here, meaning that's on there, and you would just press enter on guess. And because I know that this won't work because it's not zoomed out enough, I'm just going to leave it here. So that is our solving equations, y equals left, y equals right, in the calculator.